Hello friends, in this video I'm going to discuss Sonnet 116 by Shakespeare. I already make a video on Sonnet 18 and in this video I'm going to discuss Sonnet 116, the summary, line by line explanation, themes, symbols and vocabulary, poetic devices, rhyming scheme, meter of this sonnet. And the title of this sonnet is Let Me Not to the Marriage of Two Minds, and this is the poem text. And Let's begin by summary of this poem. And in this poem, Shakespeare writes that I don't want to accept that anything can come between two people who truly love each other. Love isn't true love if it changes when things get tough or challenging, or if it let itself be diminished. And instead, love is a steady guide like a lighthouse that even during a storm is never shaken, and it is a star that guides ships as they wander at sea. Its value is too great to be measured, but it is still used by sailors to help them navigate. So he compared love to a lighthouse to star, and love is not fooled by time. And he said that love doesn't change as hours week pass by. It doesn't change with time until the death itself come. And he said that if I am wrong, and if my own behavior serves as evidence that I am wrong, then I've never written a poem and no one has ever loved. So he is too sure about his claim, too confident about his claim, that he challenges us. And the theme in this sonnet is love and change. How true love doesn't change. He describes that. And the speakers make a number of passionate claims about what love is. True love doesn't change over time, and instead, it goes on with the same intensity forever. Love isn't really love at all if it bends or sways in response to roadblocks or any obstacle or challenges. And he describes that it's like a star that sailors use to navigate. He compare it love to a star, that how star is a hope or a navigation used by sailors, like love is a navigation, is it gives guidance to people, to lovers. And in line 9 to 12 he adds that true love doesn't falter even if beauty fades, because love isn't primarily connected with body, it's connected with soul. And personally I believes in the love of souls, not the love of bodies. And it goes on, he claims to the edge of doom, the doomsday, the end eternal. When lovers die, does love finally change or end? Otherwise it remains consistent and doesn't change. And he's willing to issue a bet that if he's wrong, then love itself is impossible. He is too sure about his claim that he challenges us that if he is wrong, then love doesn't exist. And the poem paints a picture of love as a sort of eternal ideal, and it's a star, unattainable and inhuman. And speaker engaged in hyperbole. He makes a claim using hyperbole exaggeration to defend his position, invoking all lovers in all times in line 14. And now the line by line analysis of this sonnet. Line 1 to 2, let me not to marriage of true minds and meet impediments. So sonnet 116 begin with a vow that he made, the speaker made. He promises to himself and to the reader that he will not admit any impediment, any obstacle to the marriage of true minds. Here, marriage of true minds mean meeting of true lovers. and it doesn't mean the physical marriage. And the marriage, the union of souls in this normal way, the legal union between two people, and used in a metaphorical sense to refer to a dedicated union between people or things in independent of wedding vows. And um, and he said that people underscores this metaphorical sense. Minds cannot get married in a church, but they can closely join together in love or in friendship. And and we'll see that at the end of line 1 the speaker lays out conditions for such a marriage. The parties involved must be true minds, and they must be true to each other, true love. In line 2 the speaker concludes his vow, hoping that no impediment will interrupt the relationship between the true minds, between the true lovers. And he will not acknowledge any impediment or any obstacle or challenge in a marriage of true minds, because no such impediment exists in true love. And second is that he will not allow any impediment to poison or transform his marriage going forward. And we'll see line 2 to 4, love is not love which alters when it alteration finds, or bends with remove to a remove. And line 2 to 4, the speakers begin to explain that the vow he made here, and telling us why impediment cannot be admitted in the marriage of true minds. And he lays out a theory of love that explain what love is. And the speakers want to distinguish true love from weak or insincere form of love. And he described that love is not true love. Here love is not love, and he refers to, in the second love, he refers to true love. Love is not true love. He is trying to distinguish between a common love and a true love. And the key question for speaker is how love respond to changes and inevitably occurs relationship progresses. And he refers to these changes, and he mentions alteration means a change, and notes that with true love such alteration don't change a relationship. And uh, and he the remover in the poem is its in time itself. True love works against time. It doesn't diminish even as something like beauty fades. Once again, true love is marked by its resistance to change even as circumstances of relationship change. Yes, of course, true love is unconditional. There are no regards in true love. It will exist forever. It is eternal and immortal. This is my personal opinion. Okay, it doesn't matter you will get your lover or not. Just a true love remain forever, and a perfect love does last eternally. He got the same opinion as mine. And we'll see line 5 to 8. Oh no, it's an ever fixed mark that looks on tempest and never shaken. It is the start to every wandering bark. uh, okay, so whose worth unknown, although his height been taken. So the speaker makes a broad claim about true love. It doesn't change in response to obstacle or challenges. Line 5 to 6, the speaker compares love to a ever fixed mark. And mark here mark is a sea mark, a beacon, a lighthouse that helps sailors to navigate dangerous stretches of coast. And this mark is ever fixed, meaning it doesn't change or alter. And the metaphor implies that life is complicated and treacherous, and people are like sailors negotiating storms and rocky coastlines, and true love helps people find safe passage through the world. Love has got such a power to guide people And now comparing love to a star, in lines 7 to 8 he compared love to a star, and sailors used to use the stars to navigate and as a guidance to show them the path, and that love helps people navigate and make sense of their world. Yes, obviously, love has got such a power to guide people, and the speaker is careful to emphasize that love, like the star, is available to everyone, and the actual value of love remains beyond human comprehension. Its worth is unknown. And for Plato, the highest and truest form of love is beyond human understanding. So many critics and writers they believe that love is something that is beyond conception or understanding, and love can make you do strange things that is beyond human conception. And Renaissance poets often compare the experience of being in love to out of control ships, because in love you are not in control of yourself. Okay, and the speaker of Sonnet 116 reverses this tradition, and instead of leading to failures of navigation, love actually helps the mariners, the sailors. And indeed, love cannot be true love if it leads to a loss of self-control, but instead it's a positive power and inability to safely guide the vessel that is one's life. Vessel, the ship is compared to one's life, and love as as it gives navigation or direction to life. And line 9 to 12 will see love's not times full, thou rosy lips and cheeks, within his bending sickle's compass come. Love alters not with his brief hours and weeks, but bears it out even to age of doom. And line 9 to 12 he returns to theme of poems opening 4 lines stress again that true love doesn't change, and draw a particular thinking about a particular change that any long relationship encounters. Aging, people get older and eventually use lose their beauty, and times fall. The speaker insists that love is not times full, love is not full by time, it doesn't change with time, and it remains forever consistent, it is eternal, and even if it lasts for the age of doomsday, or the end of time itself, and refers to death. And as a result, the speaker's idea of love comes to seem somewhat rigid, and he is so insistent that love never changes. And we'll see further analysis of line 13 to 14. If this be error and upon me proved, I'll never write nor men ever long. So here in this line he make a claim using hyperbole, and he's so sure and confident about his claim that love is changeless. He's talking about an ideal love, and he's if he challenges that if he's wrong about love, then he has never written anything, and that no one else has ever loved. And now we'll see the symbols in this sonnet. The first one is the mark, the sea mark, which is a beacon or a lighthouse, and which serve to warn sailors and to avoid certain areas filled with reefs or rocks. They guide them, help them to navigate, and this warning is potentially life-saving and a symbol for positive force that guide people through the dark. By associating love with such mark, then the poem argues that love itself is a solid guiding force, and it occurs in line 5. and the star thus serves as a symbol for a kind of ideal, a perfect love. And in line 7 it occurs, and second symbol is sickle. A sickle, as you saw in this picture, it's item or equipment to cut or to harvest crops. A sickle is a sharp hook agriculture tool, and death carries a sickle, and he is the harvester of soul, and the sickle is thus often used as a symbol of mortality or of the fragility of human life. And love, according to speaker, is immune to time and its sickle. It will not diminish or grow weak with age or stronger than fragile or mortal body. And it occurs in line 10. Now poetic devices. The first one is hyperbole. And hyperbole is a deliberate exaggeration, boldly overstated claims that add emphasis to a statement, and he used it to make claims, making rather outlandish claims. And the speaker says that his ideas about love are so solid, indisputable, that if he is wrong, no one has ever loved. And this is a broad and unspotted generalization, and it talking about whole of human history. He challenges whole human history and extravagance of speaker words, and his claim is rigid, idealistic in its description of love throughout, and it will occur in line 5. It is an ever fixed mark, line 6, line 12, 13, and 14 as well. The second device is alliteration, which is the repetition of same sounds, and it helps the speaker take sides in the poem. Implicit conflict between true and false love, and contrasting pattern of alliteration using and sound. Let me not to marry after minds. Here you can see the highlighted and a repetition, and so alliteration occurs in line 1, repetition of sound, line 2, repetition of a sound, line 4, repetition of sound, line 8, repetition of sound, and line 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14 as well. And count. And consonance is the repetition of same consonant sounds, and he used consonant to suggest affiliations and connection between various parts of its argument, and the sound at the heart of admit and impediment echoes in line 4. The remover to remove. The repeated sound helps the reader establish a connection between impediments and things. The speaker lists in the following lines. And where consonants occur in this poem: line 1, line 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 14. And next device used is enchantment. It is the continuation of sentence or a clause, or it's a line of poetry which carries its idea or thought our next line without pause. So here we can see a line break also often serve as a place where things change. Since it offers a natural pause, poets often use the line break as a space to gather their thoughts, and then at start of next line introduce a new idea. The speaker uses enjambment to stage implicitly for reader the feeling of overcoming or refusing impediment. And it will occur in line 1 minds, line 2 love, line 5 mark, line 9 cheeks, and end stop line is used there. And it is a sentence or phrase that comes to a conclusion at the end of a line, and it is marked by period, question mark, ellipsis, dark dash, or a semicolon. And we'll see that end stop line deliberate means to reflect the intensity of his points, and it will occur in line 3 finds, line 4 remove, line 6 shaken, line 7 bark, line 8 taken, line 10 come, 11 weeks, 12 doom, 13 proved, 14 loved. And metaphor, another device metaphor is used for direct comparison, and he presents true love as an ethereal, almost unintelligible force, and the speaker compares love to two separate things: a star, a lighthouse, and both star and lighthouse used to navigate, and both objects help sailors to pass safely and to navigate. And the reference to marriage in first line could also reasonably be thought of a metaphor. Mind, of course, cannot literally state as alter or get married, and it will occur in line 1 and line 5 mark, line 7 to 8 star. Personification is also used, and it is a device which gives characteristic of living to unknown living. And and here the speaker personifies time, and time is not simply something that flows along. It's active and destructive, and entity made into a proper noun using the capital T, and it gives time unusual powers. It has agency, the capacity to act and shape the world. And love is also personified. Love cannot literally look at storms, nor bend, alter, or to fool. Instead, the speaker grants love human like attributes in order to help reader understand exactly how speaker think of love and how the love function in the world. And it will occur line 2 to 4 alters, line 5 to 6 looks, line 9 full, line 9 time, line 10 bending sickle. And another device is used here. Caesura is used, and it's a pause that occurs in a poetry, usually marked by some form of punctuation, period, comma, or dash. And there are spots throughout the poem where clauses or sentences come to an end in the middle of a line. In line 9, love's not times full, though rosy lips and cheeks, and introduced after comma extend and complicates the sentence. And it will occur in line 2, 5, 8, 9, and 14. And polyptoton is a repetition of words derived from same root, and the speaker repeatedly use polyptoton, playing on words alter and alternation, as well as remover and remove. And the speaker use of polyptoton suggests there's something subtle and complex about what happens when love fails. And it will occur in line 3 and 4. And now we'll move on to vocabulary, the difficult words meaning of this sonnet. And marriage here is a matter of shared values and mutual sympathy, and use word in his metaphorical sense: impediment, obstacle, alteration, change. And these are simple words: tempest, storm. And bark, not talking about bark of tea, but a sailing vessel, a ship, sickle, harvesting tool. Okay, and we'll see the form, meter, and rhyming scheme. And it's a Shakespearean sonnet, and made up of rhyming couplets, and the shift between line 12 and 13. This is the volta or turn, and this shift in organization of rhyming also mark a shift in its content as well. And as far as meter is concerned, Shakespeare's sonnet is iambic pentameter, 10 syllables, stress and unstressed in a single line. Indeed, it contains a number of lines that are perfectly iambic, adhere to meter. You will see the structure here. And so this rhyming scheme is concerned. So the poem is one stanza. It can divide into three quatrains. Each quatrain consists of four lines and a final two lines, a couplet, a rhyming couplets, and three quadrants are rhyming. And the rhyming scheme is AB, CD, and EF, so this is our rhyming scheme of this. The speaker of this is Shakespeare, and setting is Renaissance London, and written in 1590s. So these are further sources. Hope you understand. The notes are in the description. Thank you for watching.